Hi, I'm Sustainably Amber, and welcome to your creative place for upcycles, gardening, and all things sustainable. Today we'll be upcycling this box to make a little scratching pad for your furry friends. So join along with me on this fun process because you can easily make one too. I'll be using GreenStalk's Seed Starter Kit box for this project. They recently just launched this new product and it's a game changer for seed starting. Really like all of the attention to detail in all of GreenStalk's products. The Seed Starter Kit comes with this printout so you can easily keep track of what you planted. There are also additional printouts online that you could utilize, but I just like using a pencil so I can reuse the same printout again next season. Before we get into the upcycle, let me just show you how amazing these seed starter kits are. They offer a handle tray so you can easily bottom water your seedlings. Plus, each cell has air pruning slots so your seedlings can get strong. But what I truly love is a multi-use product because the carrier tray can also be used as a washing station for your garden harvest. I've been a customer with GreenStalk since 2021, and just last year I became an affiliate with the brand because I truly love their products and mission. My code AMBER10 gets you a discount, and I'll also add that in the caption as well. Alright, now let's dig into this fun upcycle. I'll show you step by step. Let's go. First, find your box of choice. If yours is similar to mine that has a lid on it, you'll need to cut the lid off. Next, you'll need to measure the cardboard inserts that will fit inside the box. You'll want this part to be a bit snug. If you want each of your inserts to have consistent sizing, I would suggest using a box cutter and a ruler to make smooth cuts. Of course, please be careful during this step. I originally wanted to make the inserts go the longer way in this box because that would have meant less cutting. However, I ended up having to make them go in the shorter way of the box because the corrugated part of the cardboard only showed up during this way. One extra thing that I also like about GreenStalk and their attention to detail is this box even. You can see this box is even made in Knoxville, Tennessee, which is where their headquarters is at. And I think it's absolutely amazing from a customer perspective that they keep all those things local. Since we have to make our inserts go the shorter way, you're going to have to make a lot of these cuts. And yes, definitely a lot of these cuts. But make sure you use some type of protection underneath the box. And again, I found it helpful for each of those inserts to be able to fit in snugly inside that box. And once you've made that first cutout, use that cutout as a template to make all of your other cutouts. It will make each piece look very consistent in your cutting, and overall it will look for a very streamlined process at the end of the upcycle. So while you see me make a bunch more of these cuts, I'll talk a little bit about the cat that was at the beginning of the video. This is a stray cat that has showed up to our house over the past few years. It took him a while to get friendly with us, and he does come inside for a little bit, but ultimately he is an outdoor cat, and I would like to change that. I am aware that domestic cats are the #1 predators of outdoor birds, and that makes me really sad. So we hope to fix that in the future. But he has come inside. As you see, he's figured out how to use this little screen door, and he's coming inside to check on his process of his project. He knows that maybe this is for him. In the background, I'm just watching Gilmore Girls here. So let me know in the comments if anyone is a fan of Gilmore Girls.
Where's the trust, dude?
We just want to do this right.
You like Gilmore Girls too? And maybe set the Halloween thing aside for now. Let's see if we can fix things before we blow them up.
Gilmore Girls is very comforting to me. It's a bit of nostalgia to me, so that's why I'll usually have that on in the background if I'm working on something.
Halfway there.
Many people often ask me in the online space how I got into sustainability, and I would say it's definitely my parents growing up. I grew up in a small rural town in northern Pennsylvania, and they basically showed me so many things about living in nature and sustainability. My mom always was into reusing things, thrifting things before it became popular. And my dad was also always making things, so I feel like I definitely got that aspect from both sides of my parents. Also, growing up in a small rural town, you really appreciate the beauty of nature that is around you. I remember always having a garden growing up and composting, and those are still things that I take into my adult life with me to this day. So if you're watching this, Mom and Dad, thank you for that. I love you both. And look at this little cutie patootie. He knows that this box is for him already. And when I say he, I actually mean it's a she. We have taken the cat to the vet, and we did find out it is a female. But for many years before we took him to the vet, I always called him he. So that's why I always still refer to it as he, even though it's a she. So at this point in the video, I had cut out about half of the inserts that needed to be done, and I was feeling a little tired, and it looks like the cat was a little tired as well, so we decided to go outside and take a little play break. And here's a little toy that I've made for the cat, and it's all from repurposed materials. It's just a twig that's fallen from a tree with some twine and some feathers at the bottom. So we played here a little bit. And since I'm new to YouTube with longer form content making, here I am making some other clips that I'm kind of finding my style here on YouTube. So please let me know if you think these are cute or helpful. And as you can see, the cat was tuckered out after that play session, so she was out on the couch while I checked my GreenStalk's. So the next day I continued on this project. I currently live in San Antonio, Texas, and it is hot here, so if we want to do things outside, it needs to be in the morning. So here I am the next morning with my GreenStalk mug, and I set up my camera to show you guys some more process of me making this. Ultimately, I went through a lot of cardboard to do this. In fact, if you're familiar with the GreenStalk's packaging, I used one of the large GreenStalk boxes and two of the smaller ones that have the designs on them, like the one right now in this clip. Once you have all your cardboard pieces cut out, I actually made my own glue to glue them together. So you'll bring 1 cup of water and 3 tablespoons of flour to a slight boil. And it doesn't have to be any type of special flour. I actually used bread flour because that was all that I had in my pantry. But this is a good consistency of the glue to look for, so you know when to take it off of the boil. Ultimately, I had to make a second batch of this because I went through so much cardboard. So here we are with all our cutout pieces together. Now we just have to glue them all together. But you can see how all the cardboard pieces look consistent in shape and size. And ultimately, I personally think that really brings the project together. So all I'm doing here is taking the glue and putting it all over the piece of cardboard. And then you'll need to place each of those individual pieces back in the box. I would suggest putting a little bit of pressure as you're putting it back into the box. And here's a little time lapse of me gluing all the pieces together. The 2 towels were just giving pressure to each of them so they would glue to each of the pieces of cardboard. But ultimately, the longest time it took was cutting out the pieces at the beginning of the project. That will be your most consuming part of this project. And like I said at the beginning, if I was able to do it the longer way, it would have saved me a lot of time, but that didn't happen. And because we put the cardboard inserts in the smaller way inside the box, there will be a little bit of gap on the edge. You can leave it as is, but if you wanted it to be glued to the edge, you could do that. I did try using the homemade glue that we made and put some pressure on the box, but ultimately that was not enough support. So I did go through and added some hot glue on the edge. I can always take this off very easily if I end up composting this whole project. And in case you didn't know this little tip with the hot glue, this will be a lifesaver for you. I debated on doing this step, but ultimately I'm glad that I did do it because I think it kept the box in better condition. Now all that hard work, we need to show the cat. So I brought it outside to show him, and he seemed somewhat interested at first, but I really wanted him to get scratching on it, so that happened in a little bit. I I mean, come on, look at this cutie patootie. So cute. Boop. And there we go. I got the money shot of him scratching. I think the video clearly shows that the cat very much enjoyed the project, and I hope you also enjoyed this project as well. And I hope you'll join me back with some more fun future upcycles, gardening, and all things sustainable on this side of the internet. Thank you for joining me, and enjoy this last little clip of this cutie patootie.